Philip Turle from our International Affairs Desk is with me here on set. Philip, what do we mean by that? What kind of off-ramps could we be talking about?
Right, well, I think all the hope that has been generated since the death of Yahya Sinwar about the possibility of a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, the liberation of the hostages, an end to the war there, is gradually being dashed because of what we've been seeing basically since his death last week. That is the continued bombardment of the Gaza Strip. You saw yesterday 87 people being killed or injured in this attack against Bet Lahia. From the Israeli point of view, I think that it's pretty much business as usual. Okay, we got rid of the number one target, which was the head of Hamas, but that doesn't mean that the war is over. We're going to carry on until we've actually hammered Hamas to pieces and they no longer pose a threat to Israel. What Benjamin Netanyahu has basically been saying is that what Israel wants to do is to prevent Hamas from regrouping. That's why we've seen this incursion into the northern part of the Gaza Strip to wipe out any bases that Hamas might be trying to regroup, or possibility they might try and regroup there. So I think from the Israeli point of view, we're not really any closer to seeing a ceasefire or any kind of an agreement in the near future, even though there's been increased pressure from the United States, from the European Union, even from President Macron here in France, that this is a golden opportunity to try to sort the situation out because the number one operative in Hamas is now out of the way. That doesn't seem to be what Israel is keeping in mind right now. The second point, as far as Hamas is concerned, is, well, there's a power vacuum. Hamas has been severely weakened. It's a thumbs up for Israel. It's a thumbs down for Hamas. What happens there now? Who do they take on to take the place of Yahya Sinwar? Is it going to be his brother Mohammed, who's also as hardline as Yahya Sinwar was? There doesn't seem to be any particular leader coming forward who would be more moderate, more open to negotiating with Israel, more keen to try to work out some kind of long-term solution. The only thing that might happen is that the people of Gaza themselves, who are absolutely fed up with what's been going on there for over a year, remember all these tens of thousands of people being killed, they may say, well, now that Yahya Sinwar is out of the way, he was the one responsible for what is going on in Gaza right now, he's the one who's caused all this misery, we don't want to be with Hamas anymore. I think that's what Israel is also banking on. That's why they think that Hamas may lose support now that Yahya Sinwar is out of the way, but no sign of, I think, a breakthrough in any kind of diplomatic way forward as far as this is concerned.
Philip, another large protest in Tel Aviv yesterday. I mean, where does it leave the possibility of a release of the 100 hostages or so?
Well, that's also a very difficult question to answer right now, Stuart. There are three possibilities, I think, that we could put forward to this. The first one is that, OK, there will be some kind of an agreement and the hostages will be released. That's what everybody wants, especially the families of the hostages, because Yahya Sinwar is out of the way. He was using them as a bargaining chip. He was using them to protect himself as human shields. Now he's gone. Maybe there will be some kind of negotiation taking place behind the scenes to get them freed. I think that would be the most optimistic case scenario. Second one is, well, we'll just carry on the way we are already. The hostages will remain hostages. There won't be any kind of move forward. Hamas remains as intransigent as it did before. It wants to prolong the war to try to discredit Israel, and keeping the hostages is a key part of that. And third one, which is much more worrying, is that because of Yahya Sinwar having been wiped out, taken away, killed off, the hostages will then be used to pay back for that killing, and some of them will be executed by Hamas. I think that's what the families are very worried about, or they will be put in several different areas of the Gaza Strip, and no one will know exactly where they are, and it will be much more difficult to try to bring together some group liberation of those hostages. So no real clear path or way forward as far as the hostages are concerned right now, I'm afraid.
Let's not forget, of course, Philip, 2 weeks to go, basically, until the election in the US. What could be the impact of a Donald Trump victory?
Well, one thing is absolutely clear, Stuart, and that is that Benjamin Netanyahu would be much more happy with a victory of Donald Trump than he would with Kamala Harris. He knows that Donald Trump will back him to the hilt. Not that Kamala Harris would not carry on backing Israel and Israel's right to defend itself, but it would be slightly more complicated for him if Kamala Harris were to arrive in the White House. If it's Donald Trump has said already when it comes to Iran, there was an Israeli Security Council meeting last night, which is believed to have been formulating the response to Iran's 180 missiles fired on Israel recently, is that Biden has said, President Biden, don't attack nuclear installations, don't attack oil plants in Iran. Donald Trump has said, just go ahead and attack the nuclear plants. That's what you should be doing. So there's even a difference of opinion coming out of the United States on what Israel could do. And I think that Benjamin Netanyahu knows that he has a window of opportunity between now and the elections and the swearing in of the next president on the 20th of January to do basically what he likes, because he knows the US is always going to back him, and he will get even stronger backing if Donald Trump is elected to the White House. So it looks as though for the moment that Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to take advantage of that window of opportunity, because he doesn't know if Donald Trump is going to be elected, and he wants to get as much done as possible between now and the 20th of January, because if it is Kamala Harris, he might find his actions slightly more curtailed than he's finding them right now.
Philip, thanks very much. Philip Turle from our International Affairs Desk.